Rotary Club of Beaumont's Centennial Committee presents A Look Back, a documentary of our club's leadership and accomplishment through these 100 years of service. The year is 1928. Claude Robinson is the manager of the Beaumont Exporters. The stands at Stewart Stadium were at capacity for most games, with Joe Bressler batting .420. The Edson Hotel was planning its grand opening, and the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus was scheduled to arrive in Beaumont for an October 9th performance. On July 11th, 1928, Perkins P. Butler, Vice President of the American National Bank, was elected president of our club. Butler and two other club representatives were expected to attend Rotary International's meeting next month in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Of particular note that year was a presentation given by Arthur Strawn from New York City. Mr. Strawn was seeking the endorsement of Beaumont Rotary in support of greater awareness and financial support for expanding the state's efforts in the fight against tuberculosis. As 1929 came to a close, Beaumont was much anticipating the completion of the Edson Hotel, billed as the tallest hotel in Texas. Plans were underway for the construction of the new YMCA building in the 900 block of Calder Avenue. Bismarck A. Steinhagen, co-founder of Steinhagen Rice Mill on Cedar Street and former mayor of our city, served as our club president for the Rotary year 1929 and 30. As a founding member of the Rotary Club of Beaumont, and with intimate knowledge of the organization, B.A. Steinhagen was well suited to acquaint each member more fully with the potential power of the international organization. President Steinhagen organized special programs throughout the year featuring different nations and cultures involved in the Rotary effort. One event of note during his administration was a well-organized cruise down the Neches River on the showboat Harry Lee. It departed the dock at Pipkin Park sharply at 6:30 p.m. This event, although sponsored by the Beaumont Club, drew fellow Rotarians from throughout the district. The Rotary year 1930-31 found Beaumont beaming with pride with the completion of the new Jefferson County Courthouse. A quote from Professor J.C. Henry proclaimed the ultimate potential of the skyscraper to serve as an icon of Texas government has been demonstrated in Beaumont, Texas. Rabbi Samuel Rossinger, one of the most beloved citizens of Beaumont, was elected to serve our club as president for the Rotary year 1930-31. Rabbi Rossinger was called to Beaumont in 1910 to lead the Emmanuel congregation. President Rossinger promoted the ideas of Rotary through his writings in the Rotary Gram. For years he contributed to this publication with thought-provoking content. He has been described as one of this club's most powerful and expressive personalities. During this administration, the practice of pinning a flower on the lapel of each visitor was adopted. Citing continuing economic concern, the club suspended its annual contribution to the Student Loan Fund. As 1931 came to an end, and after much planning, the Colonel George Moffett chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution was preparing for the dedication of the Temple to the Brave, located in Pipkin Park, as a tribute to all of Beaumont's World War I veterans. Beaumont was experiencing firsthand the hardships of the Great Depression. James Shasted Jim Edwards, one of this club's founding members, was born in Ennis, Texas. He came to Beaumont in 1898. Edwards became the general manager of the Kansas City and Southern Railroad and soon entered the real estate business. In 1908, he formed J.S. Edwards & Company. Edwards led the club through the tribulations of the Great Depression, serving as president for the Rotary year 1931-32. Club dues were lowered to $24 a year. Rotary's back-to-school committee surveyed school principals throughout the city, discovering and addressing the needs of children affected by the troubling financial times. Chester Easley, president of the Seaport Coal Company, was elected to serve as president for the Rotary year 1932-33. The scouting program was dear to President Easley, and on several occasions during his administration, programs focused on this topic were presented. During the month of October 1931, Beaumont Rotarians honored 4 young men who, having reached the age of 21, were formally inducted into citizenship. Judge Daniel Walker, president of the Boy Scout Court of Honor, made the presentation. And the new classification of radio broadcasting was opened that year, and the club raised $300 to clothe school children affected by the depressed economy of the city. Keith Hotchkiss, associated with the undertaking firm of Pipkin and Brulin, served our club as president for the Rotary year 1933-34. Rotary scribe and past President Rossinger best described President Hotchkiss in his Rotary Grand Salute. Rotary's true spirit of democracy has rarely received a more convincing demonstration than in the elevation of Keith Hotchkiss to the president of our club. President Hotchkiss felt it important to respect all Rotarians' time during meetings. He was quoted as saying, "For some people, the most difficult thing in the world is to stop talking after they have finished." Hotchkiss served as district governor in 1935. In response to President Franklin Roosevelt's National Recovery Act and feeling morally bound, our club reinstated contributions to the Student Loan Fund. Charles Foster Terrell, chairman of Gulf States Utilities Company, was elected president of the Beaumont Rotary Club for the year 1934-35. President Terrell declared he would not chew the cud of threadbare slogans of service and fellowship. His mission was to instill Rotary as a vital factor in the life of each member. During the annual Rotary-sponsored Farmers and Cattlemen's meeting held at the fairgrounds, over 500 Rotarians and their guests gathered to honor pioneer farmer Willard Lovell. Lovell was presented a special gold Rotary pin for his dedication to his humble profession. Terrell worked closely with the Port Arthur Club, sending a resolution to Texas Governor Miriam A. Ferguson urging the construction of a bridge spanning the Neches River at Port Arthur. Will F. Graham, associated with the White House Dry Goods Store, was elected as president of the Beaumont Rotary Club for the year 1935-36. It was a movement started in the administration of President Graham that resulted in Beaumont Rotary Club's first grandchild 17 years later. During the January board meeting, Mr. E. E. Davis of Jasper urged the Beaumont Club to conduct a survey determining the feasibility of organizing a club in the city known as the Jewel of the Forest, Jasper, Texas. Other business that year included a barbecue held for both the Lufkin and Beaumont Club softball teams. Our club joined efforts with the American Legion, urging that the state convention be held in Beaumont. The year is 1936. This contingent of performing Rotary Anns were preparing for the district conference. J.F. Fuzzy Roan, head of Beaumont Motor Company, led the club for the Rotary year 1936-37. Of note during his administration was the organization and implementation of the largest and most elaborate district assembly ever held here. Activities were held in the Harvest Club. Decorations included a revolving rotary wheel complete with streamers suspending from the ceiling. A Get Tough policy was adopted regarding the payment of dues in which the club had been lax. The only charter member of the club still active who had not been so honored was Jim Edwards. Past President Edwards was elevated to the position of honorary member. What a meeting it was when Joe C. Clemens, president of the Jefferson Amusement Company, was finally announced to lead our club for the Rotary year 1937-38. Clemens was the 5th and final new president announced at the April meeting. Past President Roan, in jest, summarily discounted the others announced, leaving Clemens as the real new president. Rotary International offered 5 top-grade speakers on international topics to appear for 5 of the club meetings at a cost not to exceed $200 for all. 2 additional active members who were to make Rotary history as presidents were added to the club roster. John Dollinger asked that his son Chick be made his additional active, and John W. Newton was elevated to active status. J. Cook Wilson was named the Outstanding Citizen by Rotary in 1938. This look back at history has been presented by the Rotary Club of Beaumont's Centennial Committee.